So do you believe in yourself? Do you believe that you bring something to the world that is only yours and only you can bring it? Do you feel like your mind, your gut, and your spirit are in alignment and united as one being? And what does believing in yourself mean? Does it mean you have self-confidence? Does it mean you have faith in your abilities? Does it mean that you feel like you can achieve what you want to achieve? Does it mean you like yourself? Does it mean that you feel connected to your essence and that you are living your essential life that only you can live? I think believing in yourself means all of these things. And I think we are born with an innate belief in ourselves. But through childhood, through adulthood, through all the different things that can happen during our life, sometimes our belief in ourselves can be shaken or damaged, or we hide parts of ourselves, like Roger was saying, and many of the other speakers have been saying. Sometimes, the feedback we get from people makes us feel that maybe parts of ourselves are not okay, and we put them aside. And when this happens, we struggle with ourselves. We struggle with doubt. We struggle with fear. We struggle with frustration and possibly anxiety. And this is not a good place to be. And this is not a good place to live your life from. And you can't live an authentic, fulfilling life from a state of doubt and fear. And when our belief in ourselves is shaken, we look to others to believe in ourselves. But when we do this, we are giving away our power. We are giving other people control of how we feel, of our life, and of our future. And this only increases our feelings of lack of self-worth and doubt and lack of confidence in ourselves. And it increases the challenge of believing in ourselves. And it increases our dependency on what other people think and decreases our own self-reliance. But when you believe in yourself, your life feels whole, it feels natural, and you live your life as a whole, united, authentic being, and you can live a fulfilling life that way. But how do you do this? There are many tips. I'm going to give you 6. But first, let's talk about motivation. Why do you want to change, and what do you want to change? What do you want to improve about your belief in yourself? What are your key values that drive your feelings of self-worth and your sense of purpose, your decisions, and what you want to achieve? Think about this and write it down. Where do you want to be in 6 months or 1 year or 10 years? And how do you want to feel? Think about this and write it down. Do this every day until you have an answer that resonates with you from the depths of your being. Write down the answer and say it aloud. And this is tip number 1, because this is the beginning of your self-belief and self-discovery journal. Tip number 2 is think positive things about yourself. So write down in your journal some positive things about yourself and then say them aloud. And say them several times to yourself during the day. And if you start to get into the negative self-talk like Tracy was talking about, then go back to your positive statements for that day and say them aloud to yourself again. This is going to stop the negative self-talk, the feelings of self-doubt, the feelings of lack of worthiness, lack of self-belief. And keep doing this as often as you need to during the day to try to shut down the negative thoughts that creep in to our brain as we go through our day. Tip number 3, and I want to say also that you should do this every day. You can say the same 3 positive thoughts if you feel you need to keep repeating them, or you can add new ones whenever you feel you're ready for new positive thoughts. Tip number 3, affirmations build your self-confidence and your self-belief. And the thing with affirmations, like people have said, you have to say them in the present tense as if they already exist. So you think about something you want to have in your life, but you say it as if it's already a part of your life. So I am, I do. And that's really important. And the reason why it's so important is because your brain doesn't know the difference between a statement, I am an excellent public speaker, powerful, engaging, and confident. I may not be, but I just told my brain that I am. And so my brain is going to go, yes, you are, even if I'm not. So by putting our affirmations in the present tense, our brain says, oh, that's a fait accompli. That's the new reality. And then our brain starts to help us build that new reality and build our sense of self-belief and self-confidence. And that's the power of affirmations. Say 3 affirmations every day, write them down, say them aloud, and change them as you need to when you're ready. Tip number 4, every day, write down some of your successes and then say them aloud and then pat yourself on the back and feel proud. I like to do this at the end of the day to kind of close out my day on a positive note. Now, those tips so far have been about reorienting our thinking from a more negative zone or a regret zone or a feeling of bad zone to a positive zone. This next tip is more along the lines of what Roger was talking about. Push yourself. Do things that you're afraid of. Do things that make you uncomfortable. Do things that scare you. And the reason why this is so important is because when we do things that we don't feel good at or comfortable about, we have to learn in order to succeed. And when we learn, and then when we succeed, we feel confident, and it improves our sense of self-confidence and our sense of belief in ourselves. So by pushing yourself and by learning, you improve your belief in yourself. And the last tip is be kind to yourself. Change takes time. It is a journey. And like life, it is not linear. There will be stops and starts. There will be falls. There will be backward steps. There will be detours, and there will be pauses. So when the journey goes awry and gets all messed up and falls apart, be kind to yourself. Take a break, pause to fuel your journey, figure out what you could do better, and start again. It is human to stumble, but it is brave and noble to try again. Be kind to yourself. The failures and the falls, the stops and the starts are learning opportunities. And as Tracy said, if you keep trying,